I don't know why I did that. This year's NBA rookie class has been insane, incredible, and exciting to watch. From the emphatic and incredible start of VJ Edgecombe, to the later emergence of Con Knipple and Cooper Flagg looking like the #1 pick as of late, this class is set to be a good one for years to come. Hello everyone and welcome to day 8 of 12 days of Step Back with Zach, and in today's video I want to go over the NBA rookie class of 2025. Before we get into it though, please don't forget to leave a like on the video and subscribe to the channel. Thank you guys so much for helping me hit my second subscriber goal for the year, which was 65. I appreciate it so much. Can we go to 70? Let's just keep trying to ramp up these numbers. If so, that would be great. I appreciate you guys all the same. Thank you very much. Predicting what rookies are going to be able to do, how good they're going to be, and how not so great they're going to be is always one of the more exciting things to do before a brand new NBA season starts. And thankfully, this draft class has lived up to the hype so far that it had prior to the season starting. So I'm going to go over the first 5 picks 1 to 5 if you were stupid apparently and just don't know what that means. I'm going to talk about each of those players, see what I think, and then I'm going to talk about some other notable rookies after that as well. So the #1 pick was obviously Cooper Flagg to the Dallas Mavericks, who was drafted out of Duke. Cooper Flagg is looked at by many people as a generational talent, and as I have said many times, I am personally not in agreement with that, because you cannot just throw the label generational out like that. A generational talent is Victor Wembanyama. A generational talent is LeBron James. Cooper Flagg is really great, but in my opinion, not quite generational. However, that does not mean that he's not going to be incredible. Cooper Flagg so far on the season is averaging 17.5 points per game, which is second amongst rookies, 6.3 boards and 3.5 assists, while also getting 1.3 steals and 0.7 blocks on just a little over 2 turnovers as well, on splits of 48.2% from the field, 25% from 3, and 81.7% from the foul line, for an overall true shooting percentage of 55.5, just under league average. Cooper Flagg has really solidified himself recently as the best prospect in this class. He did start the season a little bit slow. Now that he's been put in his actual main position, Jason Kidd, you dingus, why were you playing him at point guard? I'll never fucking understand. But now that you've actually put him with an actual point guard and at his natural position, he's actually looking pretty damn decent. Shock. Crazy how that dynamic works, Jason, you dick. He has more games with 15 plus points and 2 plus steals and 2 plus blocks than any 18-year-old ever in the NBA. He is also the youngest player ever to score 35 points, surpassing LeBron Raymond James. Cooper Flagg just looks incredible. Like, he's able to do a little bit of everything out there. He's starting to get better at creating his own shot. He's an incredible defender. Absolutely incredible, especially on the help side. The only thing that is currently holding him back is that 3-point shooting. 25% is not good enough, dude. It is not good enough. And in my opinion, recently, he has taken over that top spot of Rookie of the Year. Sorry, Con. Next, the #2 overall pick, Dylan Harper, out of Rutgers, was drafted to the San Antonio Spurs. Dylan Harper so far on the season is averaging just shy of 13.5 points per game, with 3 boards and 4 dimes. These stats are a little bit low because he comes off the bench. And when you think that he's actually coming off the bench, you realize that these stats aren't actually that bad. So, for example, Cooper Flagg averages just under 34 minutes played per game to get those stats that he has. And if we were to give Dylan Harper close to the same amount of minutes that Cooper Flagg plays, keep in mind he only currently gets 21.7 minutes a game off the bench, rounding up to per 36, these numbers jump to 22.3 points per game, along with 5 rebounds and 6.5 assists, along with 1.5 steals. So Dylan Harper, really damn impressive. His ability to apply downhill pressure and just get into the paint is detrimental to other teams who play the San Antonio Spurs, especially those who are slow and aren't able to keep up with him, just like the Lakers recently. Dylan Harper, man, I love Dylan Harper. His chemistry with Wemby is already looking so good. He works really well alongside Stephon Castle. When Stephon Castle and Dylan Harper are on the court together, quite literally every single rating and statistical category takes a positive jump. Nuts. This combination of Dylan Harper, Stephon Castle, and Victor Wembanyama for the future looks terrifying for other teams around the league, except maybe the Thunder. I hate the Thunder, man. I love the Thunder, but I hate the Thunder at the same time. Next, drafted 3rd overall out of Baylor, we have VJ Edgecombe, who was selected by the Philadelphia 76ers. Coming out of the gate, we know that VJ Edgecombe had an absolutely historic first game of his career where he dropped a whopping 34 points, which is the most in the modern era for a rookie and the 3rd most of all time, only behind Wilt Chamberlain, who had 42, which is actually not surprising because that dude was a freak, and Frank Salvi, who had 35. This 34 is also the most ever by a Philadelphia 76er rookie, yes, even more than Allen Iverson and Joel Embiid, and he also scored 14 points in the first quarter of that game against the Celtics, where, get this, that is the new NBA record for most points scored in a debut quarter. What the fuck? Holy shit, it's hot today. VJ Edgecombe currently averages 14.7 points per game, 5.6 boards along with 4 assists, 1.3 steals, and 0.4 blocks a night, along with 1.7 turnovers, which is actually not that bad at all, on 42.1% from the field. It's not that great, but a very respectable 38.7% from 3, along with a 75.5% free throw percentage. I don't know why I said that weirdly. With a true shooting percentage, that doesn't seem right at all. What? There's no way it's that low. I should have checked this first, but I forgot. For an overall true shooting percentage of 52.5%, and I did not realize it was that bad. Not great, VJ. To be quite honest, not great. But man, I fucking love VJ Edgecombe. I really do. I love watching him. He kind of gives me Anthony Edwards vibes. Just a little bit, especially rookie Anthony Edwards. But as of late, VJ Edgecombe has kind of taken a step back. If we look at the first 6 games of his career, he averaged a little over 20 points per game on 49.5% from the field and 42.1% from 3. Really, really efficient. However, since then, he has dropped that all the way down to only 11.3 points per game on a really horrible 37% from the field. However, he did have a game today against the Indiana Pacers where he scored 22 points on pretty decent efficiency. So that number is a little bit skewed and should be a bit higher. I just don't have that exact number yet. And I can't be bothered doing the maths for it. So if you're unhappy about that, fuck off. Next, we have Con Knippel, who I have talked so much about, who was picked 4th overall by the Charlotte Hornets out of Duke, teammates with Cooper Flagg. He averages the most points per game out of the rookies, still at 18 a game. However, Cooper Flagg is coming for that. On incredible efficiency, kind of 45.9% from the field, which is so-so, but 40.3% from 3 and 90.9% from the foul line. For a still really high 61.3% true shooting, which is 9th all time for rookies. I feel like I've talked about Con Knippel a lot, but he's still on pace to break the 3-point record, which is nuts. He's going to smash it. He's going to absolutely smoke that record. He also looked, in my opinion, like he was the most ready NBA player, if that kind of makes sense. Like he could go to any single team and just slot right in and fit perfectly. He did start a little bit slow, I think, in my opinion anyway. When his first 6 games, he averaged 12.3 points per game, but has since averaged 19.9. Shout out Con Knippel. What an incredible and unexpected rookie season from him. And then finally, the 5th overall pick out of Rutgers as well, who's teammates with Dylan Harper, Ace Bailey, picked to the Utah Jazz. What a disappointing motherfucking player you are, Ace Bailey, you pretentious little twat. This dude thought that he was the best player in the class and could decide exactly where he wanted to go. Guess what, motherfucker? You have no ground to stand on. You ain't shit. You ain't shit. Easily the most disappointing player in this class, in my opinion. He's averaging a whopping 10 points per game, 3.3 boards, and 1.7 assists on 54.7% true shooting. Awesome job. Awesome job. He started this season absolutely terribly. Where in his first 8 games, he averaged a whopping 5.1 points per game on 32% shooting. And then why don't we look at that as true shooting? Huh? Because we can do that. We can motherfucking do that. 1 through to 8, which also equates to a whopping 38.3% true shooting. Nice job, Ace. That's so good, man. But to be fair to him, he has since been a lot better, especially being inserted into the starting lineup, where he averaged 13 points per game, where he's averaging 13 points per game on 48.7% from the field. Look, I know he was dealing with an illness, and I know that he was dealing with some kind of injury. I don't remember what it was. However, I wouldn't really have an issue. My biggest issue is at the fact that this dude was the most pompous, arrogant rookie I have seen in a long while, even more than Alex Sarr last year. That's why I have a problem with him. I think he's still going to be good. I do. He's just gotten off to a really, really, really bad start. Now, other rookies I want to give a really, really, really quick shout out to, who I think have also played really well, who weren't picked in that top 5. Jeremiah Fairs, who's picked 7th to the New Orleans Pelicans, is averaging 15.4 points per game, which is 3rd amongst all rookies, along with 3.4 boards, 3.1 assists, and 1.2 steals. And that 1.2 steals leads all rookies. He scored 17 points in his debut, and he's so much fun to watch. Such an explosive player, such an aggressive, just downhill attacker. He just looks like he can do whatever, not afraid of a challenge. And his best game of the season so far was ironically against the Oklahoma City Thunder, where he scored 24 points on 56.3% from the field. I love Jeremiah Fairs. I think he's got a very, very bright future ahead of him. Next up, Cedric Coward, who was picked 11th by the Portland Trail Blazers, but was traded to the Memphis Grizzlies. A little bit of an older player in this draft class, but he still looked really, really, really good. 13.3 points per game, 6 boards, 3 assists. In his 3rd game of his entire career, he scored a very impressive 27 points on 9 for 13 shooting and 6 for 6 from 3. And in that game, he had a true shooting percentage of 91.5%. His 3-point shot has since cooled off after starting really, really, really well. His first 16 games, he shot 41% on 5 attempts a night, but recently in his last 7 games, he has shot a disgusting 9.4% on 4 attempts a night. Jesus Christ. Next, we have Derek Queen, who was picked 13 to the New Orleans Pelicans, and this dude, another incredible surprise. 13 points per game on... Shut the fuck up. Stupid fucking dogs, man. No goddamn respect. Who's averaging 13 points per game along with 6.5 boards and 4 dimes a night. He did start fairly slow, where in his first 14 games he averaged 10.4 points on 47% shooting, while only taking just over 8 attempts a night. But his last 11 games have looked so much better with that increased volume that he's gotten. Since becoming a starter, he's averaging 16.1 points per game on 52% from the field on 11.4 attempts in a little over 27 minutes a game. And in this span, he had a game against my San Antonio Spurs where he had a 33-point, 10 rebound, 10 assist triple-double. He has become one of 5 players to post a 30-point triple-double before turning 21. The other 4 players on this list are huge names: LeBron James, Luka Doncic, Victor Wembanyama, De'Aaron Fox. What's also really impressive What's also really impressive about Derek Queen is the fact that he leads all rookies in free throw makes and attempts. Makes sense when he's a dominant post player who's really good with his feet and knows how to maneuver around the rim. Next, I want to talk about Ryan Kalkbrenner, who is just looking really, really solid out there in Charlotte alongside other rookie members, Con Knipple. Who's the other one? And Sion James. Ryan Kalkbrenner leads all rookies in rebounds, offensive rebounds, blocks, and field goal percentage, where he's also top 7 in the entire NBA in field goal percentage, where he averages above 80% from the field. It's like 80.8 or some nut shit like that. Wild stuff from Ryan Kalkbrenner. It's like when he gets the ball around the rim, you don't think he's gonna miss. The dude is shooting 85% at the rim this season. Are you fucking joking me? That is insane. And finally, I want to talk about Ryan motherfucking Nembhard. What a beast this dude is. Undrafted, 5'11", and is the best point guard on the Dallas Mavericks. D'Angelo Russell is there. Sit your ass down, deloading. Your ass. It's time for Ryan Nembhard. Ryan Nembhard leads all rookies in assists with 4.8 a game. He also did not get a great opportunity to start, where he only played 5 of the team's first 18 games, where he averaged 3.2 points per game on 3 attempts, and he also averaged 1.8 assists. But since then, getting an increased role alongside Cooper Flagg, this dude now averages 13 points per game on 9 attempts with a 58.5% field goal percentage and 7 assists to go along with that. And if we were to look at his per 36, this goes up to 17.4 points and 9.2 assists. Nuts. And then finally, I just want to shout out some other names who have been just solid this year, who haven't really done much to stand out and surprise me, who are still going to be good to respective to solid pieces for their organizations or potentially other organizations. Trey Johnson of the Washington Wizards has looked really solid, like I said. Yegor Demon or Dioman, or however the fuck you say that dude's name, I don't speak Russian, of the Brooklyn Nets. Colin Murray-Boyles, who I really enjoy watching over there in Toronto. Walter Clayton Jr. has looked really solid as well as a backup point guard or a third string point guard over there in Utah. Hugo Gonzalez has looked like an aggressive, in-your-face, pick up 94 feet kind of defender over there in Boston. As I mentioned before, Charlotte Hornets' own Sion James. That dude's built like a fucking NFL player. He's wham. Maxime Reynaud of the Sacramento Kings has looked pretty solid. Tyrese Proctor has also looked really solid of the Cleveland Cavaliers. Will Richard of the Golden State Warriors has been a very pleasant surprise for them over there. And then Asa Newell of the Atlanta Hawks has also looked really, really solid as well. There are also some other rookies in this class that I just haven't talked about. I don't want to be here for too long because otherwise I'm going to go nuts and I'm going to get bored, and I'm sure you're going to get bored. But what an incredible draft class this is going to be. It's going to be interesting to see where they stack up amongst the all-time draft classes. Do you think they can get to the level of the 2018 draft class where you had Luka and Shea and Trae Young and just some insane players in that one? Do you think they're going to get to the level of the 2003 draft class, who had LeBron, D. Wade, Chris Bosh? Do we think we can get there? Or the 1996 draft class, who had Allen Iverson, Kobe Bryant, someone else that I'm forgetting right now. But there are some really, really incredible draft classes out there, and I think, honestly, this class has potential to be up there with the best. But that is all from me in this video. Let me know what you guys think of the 2025 NBA rookie draft class down in the comments below, if you've made it this far, of course. But thank you so much for watching, and as always, I'll see you in the next one.